Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Firstly, I'd like to thank Mahindarama, committee member, for kindly hosting me for this talk, and also Sister Siva for also coordinating. And to my sister in Dhamma, Venerable Meda from Sri Lanka, Samanari and Sally, and dear brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today we will be exploring the topic on gradual path to cultivation of mind and the Sangha. So firstly, most of us are very curious about training the mind, or maybe the word the mind, we are not very familiar with what it is, right? So just begin with, what is mind? Can anybody tell me what is mind? We all talk about the mind a lot, but what is it? Yes, brother? The mind is the activity of the body. So don't worry, you all can suggest, then we see later. Anybody else? What is mind? Yes.
Our sixth sense.
Oh, mind is our sixth sense. What else that you all know? Yeah, at the back. Mind is a mindset. Okay. What else? Yeah.
Thoughts.
Mind is the thought. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah.
I think you have given the answer.
Very smart. All right. But what is mano, nama, and vijnana? Right? All right. Plain language, we say the mind, some people say the source of thoughts, emotions, and consciousness. Right? But what the Buddha said about the mind. Yeah? So sometimes the Buddha used mano, sometimes nama, sometimes vijnana. Okay? So mano is actually, you see, in psychology, normal study, we say we have 5 senses only. Okay? What are the senses? 5 senses? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. But the Buddha said we have 6 senses. And the 6th one is the mind. Okay? So we say mano, yeah? So mano means mind as a sense. Yeah? So, but of course, the Buddha also explained or talk about the mind in the terms of, we say, nama and rupa. Yeah? Those who learn about paticca samuppada, yeah? The dependent origination, you will come to this term, nama rupa. Yeah? What condition nama rupa? Yeah? Consciousness. Then after that, nama rupa. So nama, what is this nama in Pali? Yeah? Nama rupa. Rupa, just now we said the 5 senses. Yeah? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. Yeah? That is under rupa, means body. Nama means the mind aspects. Yeah? What are they consist? So before I go into that, I just like to ask you, if you see a dead body and a living body, what are the differences that you could identify? If you don't go to the sutta, just by your observation. A dead body and a living body. Both also body, right? But what is the difference? Cannot breathe. What else? Huh? What else? Cannot what? Cannot move. What else? Huh? No 5 elements. Then what else? Become cold. What else? If you poke the body, the dead body, can feel or not? Cannot feel, what else? 5 aggregates. Part of the aggregates is, of course, under the rupa. right? The 5 aggregates, right? Yeah, but this is, we talk about Nama. Yeah, so you observe between the dead body and living body. Then dead body, can they think? Can it feel? Can it perceive things? Conscious or not? No. Right? So if I were to ask you this question, a dead body and a living body, if I were to ask you, which one got mind, which one got no mind? Dead body and living body, which one got mind, which one got no mind? Living body got mind, but we don't know what is the mind yet, right? We say living body got mind. Now when I ask you the question, I said, dead body. We say dead body cannot feel, cannot perceive, right? Cannot think, yeah? Cannot breathe, right? Not conscious. So in a very easy way, mind is, when we talk about Nama, means categorize 4 aspects: feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. Right? So easy to understand. What is mind? These 4 aspects, okay? And then we also see that how do we differentiate a dead body and a living body? When the person, last breath, go finish, the first thing you will call the doctor, right? And the doctor will come and check what? The pulse and then the breath, right? So also we can roughly gauge, and no mind, no breath, right? So the body actually is very much dependent on this activity of the mind too. When the mind is gone, they say and body is dead, right? So easy also to comprehend, right? So next one, okay, vijnana. Familiar with this term? Vijnana, we say what? Consciousness. So normally we think that we only have one consciousness, right? But the Buddha mentioned about 6 consciousness. We think only one, but actually there are 6. Yeah? And what are the 6? The 6, the eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and mind consciousness. Okay? So we can see that it covers quite a big range when we talk about the mind. Yeah? So it's a sense, then it covers those aspects of, let's say, feeling, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. And when we talk about consciousness, there are actually 6 consciousness, not only one. Okay? Now, all this we say the mind is actually impermanent too, like the body. But they are even faster than what we think, right? Constantly changing and conditioned by experiences, right? So they are conditional, arising and ceasing, yeah? And it's very fast, yeah? Next, okay. In the Dhammapada 1 and 2, the Buddha mentioned, mind is the forerunner of all phenomena. Mind is the chief. Mind-made are they. When one speaks or acts with an impure mind, suffering follows like the hoof of the ox. Yeah, the wheel carrying the cart. And when one speaks or acts with a pure mind, happiness follows like the shadow that never leaves. Yeah. So depending on the state of the mind, so what if we experience, whether suffering or happiness, will depend on the purity or impurity of the mind, right? So this is a very important thing that we need to know, and most of the time, what do you think? The mind is pure or impure? Impure, so therefore need training, right? And because why? It leads to suffering, right? So you don't want the suffering. So when you don't want the suffering, isn't it, you have to train your mind to be tame so that it doesn't go haywire, right? Next, what is the importance of developing the mind? Right? So when we develop the mind, it's a foundation of well-being. Right? Why we have to develop the mind? Because it's a basis for your well-being. So if you don't, you allow your mind to become well, then you're always faced with a lot of trouble. Right? So a well-developed mind leads to happiness and reduce suffering. Because what you wish is happiness, not suffering. Right? You only have two choices, right? To suffer or to be happy, right? But even if you don't choose suffering, suffering is already with you. Correct or not? You only have the choice actually to really choose happiness. But how to go about it, then we need to know how to do it, right? So importance of developing of the mind. The second one, very important one, is the path to enlightenment. When we develop the mind, it leads us to the essential for understanding the nature of reality and achieving liberation. Yeah. So this freedom may not be a sudden awakening, but a gradual awakening. But definitely, when we develop the mind, that is what the Buddha has shown us. It will lead us to freedom or liberation. So, what to develop in the mind, right? So, firstly, of course, when we say ethical conduct here, it's basically the thought of non-harming or wholesome thought. Yeah, thought of non-harming. Yeah. Then we need to develop mindfulness, sati. Yeah, awareness or clear knowing of the present. Yeah, and third, concentration or samadhi. But here, of course, English people translate concentration. Yeah, but samadhi is more than that. Yeah, is the way how we focus and still the mind, yeah, and become very stable, and also experience of bliss and equanimity, yeah, and of course it will lead to insight, wisdom, panya, knowledge, and vision, understanding the Four Noble Truths, the characteristics of impermanence and non-self, yeah, and next, what to develop is the divine abiding Brahma Vihara, which is loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, and equanimity. The way of living that we are able to empathize and living in concord with other beings, all beings. So I don't go detail because we don't have much time. Yeah. So but just for your some idea. Yeah. Now how to develop is more important. What to develop, how to develop. So, of course, the Buddha, in his teaching, when he started to teach, which is the first sermon that's called Dhamma Cakkappavattana Sutta. Yeah? So, the first teaching that the Buddha taught consists mainly three main parts. Yeah? The first part, the Buddha said, we should not indulge, means go to the extreme of sensual pleasure. The next one is we should not go to the extreme of self-torture, right? So in the past, we can see that the extreme of sensual pleasure, of course, we can know for the eye. Nowadays, I think we can understand, our extreme of sensual pleasure, let's say through the eyes. Can you all give example? Huh? Every day without fail, right? Handphone. Correct, huh? Yeah. In the past, people say your life is in your hand. Then I told them now different. No, they say your life is in your hand, but your hand is with the handphone. No life. Correct, no? Extreme of indulgence in sensual pleasure, especially the eye pleasure or ear pleasure, right? And even tongue pleasure. Yeah, I heard people can go to Hong Kong just to taste some of the food, fly there and fly back. Yeah. Malaysia also have, right? So maybe KL one, they want to go to Ipoh to taste Ipoh Kai, go to Penang, Char Kway Teow, Yeah, people do that. Yeah, so extreme of sensual pleasure. So if you want to develop your mind, you have to reduce your sensual pleasure. So first, don't go to the extreme of sensual pleasure, and don't go to the extreme of self-torture. In the past, people want to train the mind and to experience liberation. Yeah, they torture themselves. Like for example, the Buddha also went through fasting. Right? Some of them, they will stand one leg, yeah, and meditate. Some of them will maybe lie on the nails, many kinds of extreme practices. But I told them modern one also got modern extreme, right? Some of them, and now you see, you go to any transport, right? You see the person holding the handphone and with the head like that. It can be hours, I don't know how they can sustain that. That's why now chiropractic very good business. Yeah. That is extreme of self-torture, right? And people don't know how to stop. Even they are so stressed, they don't know how to stop. And then it will lead them to body sickness and also mental sickness. Right? It can be also lead to depression after that. Yeah? So we have to be very careful. Yeah? So don't go to the extreme of sensual pleasure, neither the extreme of self-torture. Then the Buddha said, walk the middle path. Yeah? Walk the middle path. So this middle path is none other than the Noble Eightfold Path. Right? So not any path. Doesn't mean last time you drink 4 glasses of wine, now you drink 2 or middle path. Right? The middle path is the Noble Eightfold Path. Right? So what is this Noble Eightfold Path? Again, I won't go very, very deep, but just for you all to have some idea. So the Noble Eightfold Path has 8 factors, and it's very important. Yeah? And of course, they are gradual training on that. And is divided into 3 sections. One is morality, which is right speech, right action, right livelihood. The other one is samadhi, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. And the last part, wisdom. Yeah, wisdom part is right view, right intention. But in other sutta, the Buddha mentioned about the importance of having right view. When we don't have the right view, what we think is all not right. Correct or not? So you must have the right view. So when you say right view, what is right view? Yeah? The right view actually is the view about the Four Noble Truth. Yeah? Because without this right view, we tend to have spending our time the whole life, but not knowing the path. Right? So a lot of us think, that when we live, let's say 100 years, Hokkien Nang always say what? Ho miao, teng mia ko ho mia. Really? Really or not? I always tell them, I share with you, you all know how to calculate, right? Okay, if a person live 100 years, how many years actually they are sleeping? 1/3 of our life sleeping. So 33.3 years gone, just sleeping. Correct or not? Facts, Okay. Next one, what they do? If you're a housewife, you go and shop, wash, cook, eat, wash, again wash, prepare, then cook again, yeah, that cycle, and then cleaning the house, 1/3 gone, Correct or not, housewife? All of them say yes. Yeah. So 1/3 of your life will be just makan or cleaning, right? So another 33.3 years gone. So 66.6 years gone. So another left 33.3, what do you do? What do you do? A lot of people say, working lah. So you say working lah, maybe juggle in between. So I say, if you live 100 years, when you are 12 years old, what do you do? Play only. When you're 80 to 100, what happened? Sakit. So if you don't have purpose of life, if you don't have right view about life, your life will be what? Tidur, makan, play, sakit-sakit, mati. Worth it or not? Not worth it. Or we can congratulate hey, what they call ang po, ang kuy neng, we think very good life. But life without a purpose, we just pass our time. And it's so rare for us to be born as a human. And if we don't take this opportunity, and especially this time where we still can come to hear the Dhamma of the Buddha, so we must have a correct view. What is this life all about? What is the purpose? How can we train our mind to be higher, so that we don't have to go round and round, right? No need to die, only go round and round. This life already go round and round. Okay, so right view is so important. So that's why the Buddha said, the first thing on this Four Noble Truths, the first thing is dukkha. Yeah, we experience suffering. Do you experience suffering? Yeah, physical or mental sometimes, right? Like, okay, if you're getting old or sick, and the idea of dying, also you have a lot of fear, right? People say, 我無驚老，我驚死。有的講我無驚死，但是我驚老。True or not? Yeah. And for the female, very easy one. They all get very fearful one. One white hair already kia already. That's why they use a lot of hair dye. Right? So that's why you see or not, so how fearful we are. But we don't know the way out. Right? So, but if you know the Dhamma, then you don't have to have the fear. Yeah? It's a natural process, but how can you utilize your time properly? Right? Second, suffering is what? Mental suffering. Right? Because each and everyone that come to this world will die. Right? So, the separation from our loved ones is suffering. Right? And then more suffering is when that one, you don't like one, unpleasant one, always stick with you. Lagi suffering. Correct or not? So that's why the Buddha say, separation from your loved one, suffering. Association with the unloved one, suffering. Not getting what you want, suffering. You say, I don't want to be old, but you are getting old. I don't want to be sick, but you will fall sick one day. I don't want to die, but you will die one day. I don't want to be separate from my loved ones, but you'll be separated. Right? So, not getting what we want is suffering. Then, in conclusion, in short, the Buddha said, it's because of the grasping of the five aggregates, then we suffer. Thinking that this body, there's an eye or a soul there that is in operation. But in reality, there is none. Right? But to get there, to understand there, of course, you need the training of the mind. Right? So, having right view, first, there is suffering. Suffering means there is suffering. We ought to understand there is suffering. And we must fully understand there is suffering. Right? Secondly, the Buddha said, suffering doesn't just appear by itself. There is a cause to this suffering. Right? What are they? Craving. You don't have craving, you don't suffer one. The more you crave, the more suffering you have. So craving for what? Sensual pleasure. Right? Why? Like last time I remember when we go for a business trip, my boss, when he saw the Beijing ya, the duck, Beijing very famous with the duck, he got uric acid. So I say, hey, boss, you better don't eat, oh. I say, ayah, jiak sing lah, si belakang cerita. Then he told me, I got peel. Means kita jiak, okay, then jiak peel, maybe be tia. But then he really eat. And after he eat the pill, but the next day still limping. You see, craving for taste. You can even forego your health. thinking that the pill will help you to ease the pain. The more you eat the pill, worse. The Beijing already give you problem. Some more you take the pill, your what they call numb your nerve. Then after a long time, your nerve cannot function well. You see, this is only talking one little craving of taste. That's why you say when people are attached to something, they can do all the way, but to harm themselves. So foolish, so the right view is not there because they crave for sensual pleasure. When you crave for sensual pleasure, actually a lot of time you harm yourself, right? Then thinking that you have now modern pill this and that can help you. So we find a cure, but not the cause. What cause it? Just don't eat, no problem. Then we want to eat, then we find a cure. Alright? I want to enjoy this, yet I don't want the pain. Right? Worse. So this is again wrong view. So what is the cause? And now especially modern people, I always tell them, actually your sickness, there is a cause one. You just check back. What is the cause? You reduce that cause, then your sickness will be gone. But nowadays people go for cure. So they keep seeking cure after cure. So of course cannot finish. Right? And at the end they harm themselves more and more. Right? So this need to take note. So again we say there is dukkha, then there's cause to the dukkha. Craving is the one. And also craving for sensual pleasure or craving to become. Right? Crave or not to become, or craving not to become. Right? What is craving to become? When you are young, you want to be like your father and mother, right? When you come to teenage, you want to be like your father and mother or not? What you want to be like? Maybe Andy Lau, right? Or the Korean singer or the dancer, right? But then when you get to maybe university, those things you don't like to become like them already. What you want to become? I want to become like a doctor, engineer, like that. Then after that, finish that. Then they say, I want to become a boyfriend, a girlfriend already, a father, mother, Then grow old, some grow old, they are not happy if their children don't produce a grandson for them. Because why? They want to naik pangkat, become datuk and nenek. Isn't it? So we keep actually having this idea of becoming. Even when we die, we still want to become. Right? So this is where the cycle of our suffering continues. Right? So this is just some example for you to ponder. Right? So cause of suffering is craving. Right? And the Buddha said there's an end to this suffering. Right? And you ought to realize it. And you must fully realize it. If you minus a little bit, also suffering. You must fully realize it. And the last is the Buddha said, and what is the path that leads to the end of suffering? So it's none other than, again, Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? So right view is a Four Noble Truths. So when you have this right view, there is already suffering. You want to go on suffering or not? If you don't want, then train the mind. Because a lot of things we think from the mind, it will be manifested into our action, whether verbal action or physical action. Okay? So, right view. So when you have right view, then only you will have right thought or right intention. Without right view, your thoughts will not be right. Right? When you have right view, then the Buddha said it will condition your right thought or right intention. So what is the right intention? The first one is nikama. Nikama means renouncing your sensual pleasure. Second one, metta. You have that thoughts of loving kindness, because you suffer, everybody suffer. So we should have that thought of friendliness. Third one is thought of non-cruelty. Not to be cruel to one another. Because everybody is also suffering. So don't add on some more. Okay? Then right view, condition right thought, condition right speech. Right speech, right speech is the speech that is truthful, speech that brings harmony, and speech that is pleasant, and speech that is beneficial. So if we are in the habit of talking gossip, we have to stop. Because if not, your mind is always, going into the wrong way. Right? Because the more you say, the more it will imprint into your mind. Right? So right speech will condition right action. Right? So how does it condition right action? It's very simple. When you say, I like ice cream. I like ice cream. Then after that, when you drive, then the urge of liking ice cream, where will you end up? You go to supermarket to buy ice cream. Action, right? And then you go and purchase, and then you eat ice cream, right? So the action will follow. Right? So be careful with your thought. It will break into speech. Speech will break into action. Then right action will condition right livelihood. Means the way you earn your money. Yeah. So right livelihood means a livelihood that does not involve trade of human, trade of flesh, weapon, poison, or drugs. Yeah. So it means you don't want to earn this kind of earning because you will feel guilty, uneasy. Right? Right livelihood, then you have more time, for good things that you want to practice. So it leads to right effort. So right effort is effort to abandon what is not wholesome and to cultivate and maintain what is wholesome. Means your thoughts, your speech, your bodily action. You will make effort, to cultivate the good side of it rather than having those kind of action or verbal action that actually is harmful or negative. Right? And right effort will lead to right mindfulness. And right mindfulness, there are 4 aspects also. Mindfulness of the body, feelings, and also mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of Dhamma, or mind object. And right mindfulness, when you keep doing it, it will condition right concentration. This right concentration is not that you concentrate on something. Right? So right concentration, the main criteria is that when a person start to experience and to be free from the hindrances of the mind, which is sensual pleasure, ill will, sloth and tappa, or worry, or doubt. So when the mind is free from that, then the mind will go into a joyful state. And the withdrawal deeper and deeper, and then the person will have the insight of what the mind is all about. And the mind have its own quality when it's pure. So the cultivation is to purify the mind. So when the mind is gross, of course, a lot of thoughts, worries, and all those things. Okay, now to remember this Noble Eightfold Path, can you all remember the 8? Last time we used the formula of Ussa Lemsi. Then one day our seminary said, we use another one, easier to remember. Because Ussa Lemsi, like you cannot connect. So if you see the orange color one, can you remember? I said Visa Lemsi. Visa everybody can remember. So what is V? Right view. I, right intention. S, right speech. And then A, right action. L, right livelihood. E, right effort. M, right mindfulness. C, right concentration. So you can remember Visa Lemsi and put a right in front. Not without the right, must have the right there. Okay? Because or else you can have any view or any opinions which is wrong. Okay? Next. Okay, how to develop the mind again. So in our simple way, conclusion is that mindful living. We have to live mindfully by practicing generosity. And of course, like in temple, as in Mahindarama, there are ample opportunity, right, to do dana, to offer service, and many ways that we can do generosity, to offer your skill, for the sasana, to allow more people to come and learn the Dhamma. Right? And also for yourself, ethical conduct means taking 5 precepts. So when you come for, let's say, dana, you recite the 5 precepts, then you can actually practice it. Yeah. So that will help you to have a peace of mind, yeah, without blame. And then, of course, applying mindfulness in daily activities. Yeah. And then study of scriptures. Yeah. So study more on what they call the Buddha's teaching by, let's say, like tonight, coming to listen to the Dhamma talk, or we can have discussion, yeah, on Dhamma. Even meeting the Sangha to sometimes to ask some question or listen to short Dhamma sharing. So all these are very helpful for us to increase the understanding, also the practice of the Dhamma. And you remember the Mangala Sutta, the Buddha mentioned, yeah? So meeting the Sangha or discussion of Dhamma, yeah? All these are blessings. So there are 38 blessings. So a few of these is actually included. So if you wish for blessings, then listen to the Dhamma, discussion of Dhamma, meeting the wise people, those are all blessings. Then third, meditation practices. Yeah. So this is for us to develop calmness, concentration, and insight. Yeah, knowledge and vision of reality. So through meditation practices of bhavana, means cultivation of mind all the time, then you will be able to experience the true knowledge. Yeah. Next, okay, what is the impact of the cultivation of mind on daily life and well-being? Stress reduction. If you find stress, so you can actually take up some simple practice of meditation. Yeah. So this will help you to manage your stress and anxiety. Yeah. So I remember last time that some people, they come for session to help them. They have anxiety or stress or even the depression. Very simple. Yeah. Come back to our breath, because normally we are not aware about our breathing. Yeah. And like for one case, this person come, he has been suffering from anxiety attack for a long time. Yeah. So after hearing my talk about metta, then he come to ask for help. Yeah. And while talking to me, the anxiety attack. Yeah. When a person have anxiety attack, if it's a serious one, they can sometimes become very breathless. Yeah. And sometimes their heart pump very fast, and that is also not very good, because sometimes you can get attack, heart attack. So I can see that, at the moment, yeah, his face turned red and start to shiver, yeah, and quickly he pull out a medicine, yeah, and at that time I just told him, I said pause, you just follow my instruction, yeah. So I instruct him to breathe, yeah. So after breathing in, breathe out, yeah, for some time, then I asked him, how do you feel now? So he said, better. Then I point to him. I said, you see, in the past, you always think that when you have this episode, you need the medicine. But I said, just now, you just did the breathing. You don't need the medicine, but you feel better. Right? So after, I remember 5 sessions, he was like able to manage. And I told him, of course, you may still need the medicine, but check with your doctor to reduce the dosage. And then until you are able to, comprehend it by yourself. And of course, we guide them to further practice of, for example, even metta by smiling. I remember when he wants to smile, because long years he didn't smile. So when I asked him to breathe in, smile, I can see this muscle. It's just like, very difficult to go up. Yeah, because long time didn't smile. Really. Yeah. And because you see, depressed, normally your this muscle is always down. So it's so important to smile. Yeah. Nowadays people don't smile. Yeah. So every day you must learn. When you wake up, you brush your teeth, put a smiling mouth, and then rush. You feel very different because you know why? That smiling activate your serotonin in your brain, and that is a feel-good hormone, make you happy. And so every day, wake up, whether whatever happened, smile to yourself first. Breathe in and smile, and then brush your teeth. Right? So that is very helpful. Yeah. So when we practice, training the mind through different method, whether it's metta or anapanasati, mindfulness of breath, or even buddhanusati, remembering the Buddha, it will help you to come down. Yeah. And that I think can manage your life better. You can perform better in your job, in your housework, or whatever. Right? Next one, of course, the impact will improve your relationship. Yeah? When a person who cultivate the mind, their relationship with others will be better. So they are more kind, more compassionate, more understanding towards others. And because of that, then of course the interaction will become more positive. Right? And then you don't have much quarrel or misunderstanding. All right? So next one, informed decision making. When your mind become more wise, so it leads to better choices and actions. You don't make mistake. A lot of time we do mistake, right? We say, I should have done like this. But why at that time we didn't do it? Then we regret over it and we don't know how to overcome it. Right? So it's more important to develop the mind. So it also leads us to spiritual path and development. Cultivation of virtues supports our ethical living and harmony with others. Happiness here and now. The other one is of course path to awakening. Developing the mind is essential for spiritual growth. Happiness here, hereafter, and ultimate liberation. We are not talking about this life only, but if in our next, then we'll be able also to maintain a good state of mind for good rebirth. All right, now how does this link to the Sangha? So we know the Sangha is a community of the noble ones and is the ideal embodiment of training the mind. So for people who take up the rope, it is to cross over samsara, you see. So they have more time on the practice. So for the training of higher discipline, higher mind, and higher wisdom, and attainment of noble states, which is stream entry, once returner, non-returner, and arahant. Right? So this is where the formation of the Sangha, the Buddha has started, after he first preached the Dhamma. So, and what is connected, Sangha is also connected to the word of the fourfold assembly, Chatuparisa. The Buddha started to teach and also form what the Buddha say is the fourfold assembly for his teaching to continue for a long, long time, which is the Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, and then you have Upasaka and also Upasika assembly. And these four, the Buddha said, will help to bring forth the Buddha's teaching for a long time. And this also foster collective growth and learning. And these four assembly also, the Sangha and also the lay community, they coming together to practice, and they can share the wisdom and collaboration between the Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, and lay male and female practitioners, enriches understanding of Dhamma Vinaya and path towards liberation. And with this also, it will prolong the Buddha Sasana. A strong community ensures the continued teaching and practice of the Dhamma. Right? So what the Buddha say about the four assembly? In the sutta, the Buddha mentioned, the completeness of his dispensation consists these four. All of them have their own duty to do, to practice, and also to be a role model to others. And at the same time, it completes the Buddha's dispensation. And the Buddha actually is destined to have actually this fourfold assembly. So that the Dhamma can continue to benefit more beings. In conclusion, the gradual development of the mind is vital for personal and collective well-being. So we should engage in practices that cultivate the mind for a fulfilling spiritual journey. Right? So we wish you to strive on it fully towards liberation. And I would like to share with you the situation of the Sangha in Malaysia. Yeah? In the past, we only have Bhikkhu Sangha, and then we have Upasaka and Upasika. We hardly hear about Bhikkhuni, right? Have you heard? Have you seen? No. Today is first time. Oh, okay. So just share with you what is the development in Malaysia, yeah, so that we can also have a better idea and better understanding how this fourfold Sangha that the Buddha actually, fourfold assembly that the Buddha actually established, yeah, and it's important to continue this vision and mission of the Buddha so that we can bring more Dhamma for people and also lead others to walk the noble path. Okay, so I will show you a short video that which we do for the International Buddhist Bhikkhuni Day. Yeah?
The speaker setting is not set. Pull up to the projector.
His compliment to the Dhamma was led to the introduction of the short
monks not only to receive formal ordination, but also to immerse themselves in a supportive monastic environment that adhere closely to the monastic code. Some stay in overseas, while others return to Malaysia to practice on their own, with some endeavor to establish Bhikkhuni center.
Inspired by the late Venerable K. Siri Dhammananda to lead and develop the first Malaysian Theravada Bhikkhuni nunnery, Venerable Sumangala initiated the formation of Arya Vihara Buddhist Society.
Arya Vihara able to establish within 9 years period, you're going to have it for your own shelter. It's not that easy things. Shelter not purchased by yourself, shelter applied to the government. The Selangor government allocate the place due to your merits as well. It's not that simply easy you can get it. Whatever you've done for the community, the realization that, and also the recognize your own the effort in order to serve mankind, especially for the spiritual journey. That's why they're given for that piece of land. The Arya Vihara establishment for the society, establishment of the Sunday school, establishment of charity activities, establishment coming for the doing so much, the charity welfare and the social activities besides the spiritual activities. That's very important. Be able to touch, be able to reach the people. That's another important thing. Being the lead person, especially for the female person, Bhikkhuni, there's no barrier to communicate with the woman. Much easier. They can able to discuss certain things. That's why Arya is an important part of that, to have it in this country, then able to do the bigger service. We require more ladies to realize, their time able to contribute to the Sasana development in the Bhikkhuni Sangha development in Malaysia. That's a great Dhamma. I strongly believe it. If you want to perform certain Dhamma to the mankind, it's a golden opportunity. Yes.
Arya Vihara is not just a center for spiritual practice, but also a hub for community development. Its programs include monastic and laity training, short-term seminary program, family Dhamma education, meditation retreats, pilgrimages, special events, and charity. Collaborative efforts with international Bhikkhuni societies and other Buddhist organizations further enrich its offerings. A significant milestone was reached on April 23, 2024, when the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sima, a consecrated boundary required for legitimate ordination, initiated by Venerable Sumangala Bhikkhuni, was established at Arya Vihara, Kuala Nusara, Malaysia. This pivotal moment was facilitated by 17 senior Bhikkhunis from 6 countries and marked a historical step forward in Malaysia's monastic community that Theravada Bhikkhuni higher ordination can now be conducted in Malaysia.
Of course, I'm very happy that finally you have the first Bhikkhunis, the Sima establishment with the help of many others, very senior nuns from other various countries. So I think this is in fact a very historic moment, right, in our Malaysian history, as well as I think the Theravada Bhikkhunis in this part of the world.
I'm very thankful to Ayah Sumangala for offering the valuable opportunity for me to contribute my experience from the engineering and development industry towards the new Arya Vihara building project, which will be a great offering to the Sangha of the 4 directions and for the profit and benefit of the many.
I've learned that whatever we do now will have a huge impact on what will become later or in the future.
Namo Buddhaya, Sukhi Hontu. In 2019, I enrolled in the 3-year Arya Monastic and Laity Training Program, which I completed in 2022. After participating in the TSNP for the 2nd time in Malacca, which further deepened my communal learning, I became an Anagarika at Arya Vihara. Thereafter, I was ordained as a seminary in Bodh Gaya, India, during the International Bhikkhuni Ordination Event 2022 organized by MBSI and UTBSI. I am now looking forward to receiving my Bhikkhuni higher ordination next year. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I also learned to associate with the wise one, but not the fools. As Ayah always emphasized that the wise one is to put the Dhamma into practice, I learned to pay attention to my mind, speech, and bodily action, and it helps me to cultivate the wholesomeness and abandon some of my sensual desires. My Dhamma knowledge grows day by day and my confidence increases. The highest gains are my temperament transformed to metta, and my merit banks was too.
In Arya, I have learned how to meditate and the concept of mindfulness. Now I have the tools on hand to better manage my well-being. From here, I also learned the 5 precepts and the 8 paths, and now serve as the guide for my day-to-day conduct.
Having a better and deeper understanding of the Dhamma has greatly encouraged me to practice more diligently and mindfully. I am also thankful for the opportunity to serve as one of the event organizers. Working with a team of faithful and compassionate members of Arya is indeed enriching, empowering, and rewarding in so many aspects. We have so much to learn from each other, and I am thankful for the support and selfless service of everyone.
The journey towards a vibrant Bhikkhuni Sangha in Malaysia continues, marked by dedication, collaboration, and the shared vision of nurturing the Dhamma for the benefit of the many. In conclusion, the growth of Bhikkhuni Sangha in Malaysia is sustained by the Fourfold Assembly, practicing together in harmony. Long live the Buddha Sasan. Thank you.
Three big sadhus, everyone. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Lord.
Ajahn Brahm song. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Ayah. That was so very enlightening. Very heartwarming too, isn't it? Probably the only Bhikkhuni in Malaysia. Heartwarming. Thank you so much. At this point in time, I'd like to open the session for Q&A. And the first question is, will Arya Vihara organize temporary seminary membership in 2025? So people are very inspired already, Ayah.
The answer is yes, but it's in Chinese.
Oops.
All right. Actually, it's like this. Last time when we organized, since 2014, 2 years once only we organized. And then I think in 2022 or 2023. This year is 2024, 2023. Then someone approached me and said, Ayah, the novitiate program only English, but we don't know much English. Can you please organize in Chinese? But the thing is, Ayah is from Malay school. But somehow have to learn how to speak Chinese a bit. And because with Bante Dhammapala, he speaks very well in Chinese or English or Pali or Sanskrit. So we can organize it. So basically for discussion or those things, we can still use simple Chinese or English, because some of them actually do know English, but they prefer Chinese. So this year actually is in English. Next year, they say back to Chinese. So next year, interestingly, because Bante Dhammapala felt that after we conduct 6 seminary novitiate program, next year Bante said, why not we combine Samanera and Samaneri program, right? So he said, okay, first time. So hopefully The time is, I think, 23rd March to 6th of April. If you are interested, please sign in quickly. All right, but still we will also look at your application, whether the requirement is there, and then if you truly inspire, this is very rare occasion. Yeah, and I've seen many people who join the seminary nourishment program. It transformed their heart and their mind. Yeah, because about 2 weeks. Yeah, it's not that you take the rope my mind. No, for the 2 weeks you must have the adhitthana, determination, because people do not know, right? You are in a rope, you have to behave in the rope. Yeah, so not just for the sake of just wearing the rope, but must have that determination. So the 2 weeks program is not a retreat. It's like living a monastic life. Yeah, a lot of time we all think novitiate program is just retreat. No, it's living a life of monastic. So there are Dhamma study, there are meditation, there are communal living, and supporting each other, Dhamma discussion. Yeah? So we hope that they will be able to understand. Yeah? And I think from there, some of them, when they go Pinapata, they also shed tears. They say, last time we are on the other side, now we are on this side. And then they will tell me, Ayah, this food not easy to eat. Right? Then you start to feel not easy to eat this kind of food. Yeah, because people so faithfully offer you. Then you will reflect, do I deserve this? And that's why the Buddha maintained this tradition of Pindapata. Right? So it's a very good, I say, program so far, because we try to pack so many things, but in a more systematic way, that the participant will experience the glimpse of a monastic life. Then some won't simply say, I want to become a nun already. Yeah, they said, oh, not easy to become a nun. But they appreciate more, and also some will feedback that now we know how to support the Sangha, how to support the Bhikkhuni Sangha. Yeah, I think that is also helpful, because both sides, when the Bhikkhuni Sangha to develop, then they can also offer to especially the female practitioner. Because sometimes they have trouble, a female Sangha will understand better. Right? And also from female, they cannot also consult monk unless the monk got kapia. Right? So this is also another pillar that the Buddha mentioned, why the Buddha said, Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, Upasaka, Upasika. Yeah? And these four are very important pillars. Alright? I hope I answer you. So you can go to our Facebook, Arya Vihara Buddhist Society. The poster is there for the Novitiate program. We are taking 50, so half Samanera, half Samaneri. Yeah? So because we normally don't take too many, because we want them to have, more time we can spend with them, then they can dwell in more in depth. Yeah? All right?
Don't you agree that Ayah is such a well-practiced Sangha? Yeah? Yeah. Very, very inspiring. Yeah, the Sunday school, the Arya Rainbow Kids, and then the Novitiate, and then the Dhamma, the practice is really, it's really sort of made a good impression on me, a very deep impression on me when I went up to Fraser Hill in June. So that was a nice 8 days retreat with Ayah. Okay, I think we have time for another question. Yeah? Sorry if your question didn't quite make it, because I'm sure it's been covered, in the video and so on. Now, the next question, probably the last one. I noticed that even some very well-practiced Buddhists stay away from meditation because they find meditation difficult and like to focus more on Dhamma. Furthermore, those who meditate also have their meditation struggles. My question is, do you think liking and not liking meditation is an inclination from past life, and how do we overcome that?
Okay, you know the word meditation? When you hear the word meditation, what comes to your mind?
Boring.
Not only that, especially we are Chinese, in the past we see the video too much, the movie too much. If you start to meditate and more serious in meditation, what are the terms that the people will label you? Stigma, because you watch movie too much. They will say, wow, if you meditate too much, 会走火入魔. Agree, but actually it's not true. They should not say so also, right? And the word meditation today is a bit loose. One day people ask me, can we have dance meditation? And because meditation is also associated with a lot of yogic practice and all kinds of meditation, right? They name it as meditation. But the Buddha never said meditation. The Buddha said bhavana. Bhavana means cultivate the mind, mental cultivation. Right? So mental cultivation, so if you sit down, people say, some of them I say, okay, how do you meditate? 讲静坐. Here 静静坐, 这边呢不静. Is that meditation? Meditation have specific technique or training one. The easiest one is breathing. Do you breathe? So if you breathe, you can meditate. Unless you don't breathe already. Right? So I remember last time somebody asked Ajahn Chah, a businesswoman. So Ajahn Chah asked her whether she can meditate or not. Then he said, Ajahn, we all business people, so busy, how to meditate? Then Ajahn Chah asked her this question, do you breathe? He said, yes, of course I breathe. If I don't breathe, I die. Then Ajahn Chah, if you can breathe, then you can meditate. Because why? Mindfulness of in-breath and out-breath. What you need to do is bring your awareness or mindfulness of clear knowing to your breath. Of course, they got technique now. So when it comes to retreat, then we will teach you how to, develop that mindfulness through your in-breath and out-breath. So if you can breathe, of course you can do that. And other than that, what other methods that the Buddha taught? The Buddha taught, let's say, sati sampajana, means comprehending all activities of the body. So what you do is, when you walk, you just know that you're walking. But most of the time now, when we walk, we don't know we are walking. Especially those with handphone, right? Then they fall into the drain, they bang into the door, correct or not? So means what? Not mindful. So you just bring your mindfulness to walking. Then you feel that you enjoy the walking. So the mind don't fill with a lot of thoughts, scattered. So, but meditation is a very important thing to do. Bhavana, cultivation of the mind. Right? So mindfulness doesn't mean that you're mindful only. I share with you one story. So the boss tell the worker, the guard, you must be mindful to guard my house. Then the guard said, yes, boss, I will be mindful. So the boss left. So after that, somebody came in to steal something. So this guard was so mindful. The person come in, or how he come into the gate, then he walked into the house, then he walked into the boss room, he took the thing, and then he walked out, and then he left. So when the boss came back, what happened? He said, boss, you told me to be mindful, I am mindful. I saw the thief coming in from the gate, walk into the house, walk into your room, open the things, and then take your things, and then walk out. Is mindfulness this? You're mindful or not? Mindful, You see what is going on, right? But not like that. Mindfulness also consists not only in the presence of the mind, but mindfulness also have that ability to know whether this is wholesome or unwholesome, and pure or impure, need to be cultivated or no need to be cultivated. Yeah. So when you develop that, then your mind will gear towards high state. Right? So you won't get angry, because very simple. If I ask you, which mind is higher, which mind is low? If I say angry, low or high? Low, right? If I say happy, I say at the high side. Boring, low side. Yeah. Then kind, high. Right? So sad, low. Gentle, high. So we need to cultivate, because why? If we don't cultivate this mind, all of our experience every day, always stress lah, boring lah, get angry lah, but you wish for happiness. So you need to put the ingredient mah. It cannot be you tanam durian and then you get mango, right? So you must put all the ingredient for that fruition. So you have to put mindfulness or practice of, we say, if the person said the word mindfulness not so nice to say, you say, Ayah said, do bhavana, don't do meditation. Right? Means cultivate your mind. You must cultivate. Yeah, and the basis is sila. Do your sila, practice properly. And that will help you to ease your mind from those feeling of being blame, regret, remorse. That already are the foundation for your further development of the mind. Okay? So it is, if you want to be liberated, sila, samadhi, panya. Cannot run. So dana alone tak cukup. Just now we see the car pass by. So I don't know what you call this dog. Very small with long ears and, in a very, nice car. So we look at the dog, it's a nice dog. Then the thing is, last time do a lot of dana, but didn't keep precept. Right? So you still enjoy all the four requisites. Right? You see, they stay in the aircon room, eat very nice things, go to saloon, when sick, go to special doctor, not cheap, right? Sometimes you feel like a bit of envy. And some people say, wow, better to live like a dog. I say, better don't say so. You have one life, maybe 90 years old, the dog have to go 5 rounds. Correct? So that's why very important. Yeah, must have bhavana. Start today. After today, you must start already. Practice. Yeah, because for your own good, for your own protection. Right? Because very easy to gauge. You just close your eyes, see what comes to your mind. If you close your eyes, your mind go haywire. Then the more you know that you need a training. Right? If you close your eyes, very peaceful, very calm, blissful. Okay lah. If one day we'll say bye-bye, you know where you go lah. Right? But if you have a lot of fear and then dark and you don't know where you're heading to, then the more that you have to learn, so that the mind state is always in that good state. So anytime, no problem. Right? Okay? Thank you. All right, let us compose our mind, having coming to Mahindarama to attend today's or tonight's talk on cultivation of the mind and also the Sangha. And may all the joy of listening to Dhamma, the comprehension of the Dhamma, and also the inspiration to practice the Dhamma continue to bring you much delight in walking the noble path, the Buddha's noble path that leads to happiness here and now, hereafter, and also the ultimate liberation. May this also be the source of inspiration for our family members, wherever they are, and also be able to come in contact with the Dhamma And with all our also marriage accrue, we also share this with all the devas in Nagas Almighty power, so that they too rejoice in our good deeds and marriage and continue to protect your well-being and safety and guide you all to the righteous path and help you all in times of need. For the devas to continue to protect and belong to Buddha Dhamma, Buddha Sasana for the well-being, happiness and benefit of the many. And with everyone's good marriage too, may this also be dedicated for the spiritual well-being of our departed relatives, teachers, friends and ancestors. And with everyone's support and good aspiration, may Arya Vihara building project too be successful for the well-being, happiness and benefit of the many. So sincerely make a noble aspiration for yourself, for family, and to those to whom you like to share this merit with them. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena saraswati bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena saraswati bhavantu te. Bhavatu sabba mangala rakantu sabba devata sabba sanganubhavena saraswati bhavantu te. Now we shall share the merits with the heavenly beings. Etavata ca ambe sambatam punya sampadam sabbe deva sabbe bhuta sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya akasata ca bummata devanaga mahidika punyantang anumoditva ciram rakantu loka sasanam akasata ca bummata devanaga mahidika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakantu desana akasata ca bummata devanaga mahidika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakantu mam paranti. Also dedicate this merit in memory of your departed relatives, teachers, friends and ancestors. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idam me nyatinam hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sukhi hontu nibbana pacaya hontu. Sadhu.
Let's compose our mind with much joy and respect. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. Please remain standing while our Venerable Sumangala and all the Sangha members leave the lecture hall.
physically sick.